Well, it happens far more often than you may think. Physical abuse, verbal abuse, arguments between family members. The National Coalition Against Domestic Violence reports that on a typical day, domestic violence hotlines receive approximately 21,000 calls. That's about 15 calls every minute. Our Stephanie Poole looks at how that affects law enforcement and families.
It happened in Lowndes County and again last week in Lee County. Family problems that can turn deadly. Domestic violence is devastating for a family. It can also be a powder keg for sheriff deputies. Monroe County Interim Sheriff Curtis Knight says his department has a specialized training to help diffuse the stress.
Those are some of the most dangerous calls we actually go on. And again, like you said, their emotions are high. It may involve children, spouses. The main thing, our concern is weapons. We have to be prepared for anything, and oftentimes it does end in violence.
Monroe County Chief Deputy Kevin Crook says officers must stay alert.
There's just a lot for an officer to think about when he's on that kind of scene. Usually situations just continue to escalate. It seems like it doesn't end without somebody changing, somebody getting the counseling and the help that they need. And so in the situation we've had most recently, it's just a progressive situation that ended up in tragedy.
Talking to someone about it can help. Christian Changes Counseling and Recovery Center Julia Stevenson says victims usually show signs of toxic relationships.
Watch for somebody who's losing interest in relationships, friendships, things that they've enjoyed, maybe having problems at work, and of course also physical signs of abuse such as bruising and other things on the body.
Stevenson says reaching out to a friend or a family member in a challenging domestic situation must be handled carefully.
Helping somebody who's in a domestic violence situation can actually be very dangerous for everybody involved. It's important not to ask somebody just simply to leave. That can be one of the most dangerous times, but to just provide them support in doing that.
Reporting in Monroe County, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
And remember, if you need help, there are local shelters that work with families in crisis. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline.